talked about your podcast and you talked about having Charlie Kirk on there, Steve Bannon, and there were a lot of people who were critical about the decision to
Yeah.
have them on your podcast, specifically the first guest being Charlie Kirk. And I think a lot of the criticism was kind of like,
That's so stupid because Charlie Kirk represents the majority of the country.
Right.
So you're just going to disregard half the country and you want to become president? You want to be governor? You want to disregard 50% of your potential constituents? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and she's confirming, validating the liberals' perspective. They're no longer liberal. Stop calling them liberal. They're progressive.
Yeah.
They don't believe in freedom of speech.
Yeah.
okay, there's this line of, are you platforming right-wing voices, or are they on there for you to challenge some of the things that they promote or they fight for? And I guess the question I would ask you is, where we are right now, I've heard you talk about it. Our democracy is at stake. That's how we feel. We feel hopeless. We feel desperate. Is it the right time to
Democracy is at stake, but they want to silence the other 50% of the country.
platform those voices if you're not particularly challenging them? And the reason I say that is because when you just spoke about DEI with us and CRT, there was a passion there. You know, you laid out exactly how you feel about it. But when I listened to that podcast with Charlie Kirk, it was more of he was talking. There wasn't necessarily a challenging or a pushback. What would you say to people who were critical about having voices like that on your podcast if you're not going to necessarally challenge them or speak about it in the way that you just did?
We get it.
And we should say that we are those voices, by the way.
Yeah,
we were
yeah,
critical.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I'd say that was not the point of the podcast. I opened the podcast saying this: if you're tuning in to tune up the back and forth, watch primetime cable. That's not why I did the platform. That's not why I did the podcast. But to suggest a platform, I had 0 viewers. 0. Who's platforming whom? When I had Charlie on. By the way, he was the one who said yes and flew out first. Wasn't my intent to have back sort of hardcore right. But divorce, I've said this, divorce is not an option. We define the terms of our future. He exists. I could turn my back and act like he doesn't exist, but until the unacceptable tragic assassination, he was promoting, what he was promoting was making real inroads with young folks in college campuses. He was here at USC right before. In fact, I think the day or two before he came up for the podcast, he was down here and I saw these unbelievable crowds. I mean, that was real. In the work that he was putting out and what he was able to achieve for Donald Trump was real. And you could deny it, we could dismiss it. But I thought it was important to understand it. And I'll tell you, the overwhelming majority of people didn't even know who the hell he was. Who's this guy you have on there? Yeah, now everyone knows. But I'm just.
A lot of people knew who Charlie Kirk was.
Hey, Keith, Governor Newsom made a great point. I had 0 followers. Who's platforming who?
Yeah.
He brought a lot of viewers over to Gavin Newsom when he did that podcast with him. Yeah. And probably the main reason why he didn't provide any pushback is because he couldn't. Because the majority of the policies that's coming from the right, they're sound logically, and it just makes sense.
Yeah.
He had nothing to refute those.
Yeah, Democrats' ideas cannot stand up to scrutiny.
No.
They can't withstand scrutiny. So he's not going to offer any pushback.
He can't.
Yeah.
You can't say 4 + 4 = 8, and then you can't. This is what I'm trying to say. Charlie Kirk can't come say 4 + 4. Let me calm down. Charlie Kirk can't say 4 + 4 is 8, and he come back. No, it's not. It's 8.5. You can't.
That's how dumb the ideas are. Yeah.
I'm honestly, I'm trying to be a civil guy, and the purpose of my podcast is not to get in debates. I have no energy for that. That's what I do 24/7 the rest of the damn week. I want to.
That's dumb. You're having a popular right wing advocate come on your podcast, and you're not going to debate him. How are you going to win elections if you don't refute and debunk his positions on anything? What's the point?
Yeah, that makes sense, but especially if you're asking the left to vote for you. That would be a stupid approach to your podcast. They want to see you just destroy Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
That's what they want to see.
Yeah, but you can't.
You can't.
Create a space where I can start to understand.
He
wants to understand the right.
Yeah. He understands right. Everybody understands right. Even the left understands right.
Yeah,
they just don't agree with.
He just
I'm glad we're having this conversation, and because this is this is what you're talking to a black woman and you're talking to a black man, and we're
Who cares?
Yeah. Just
Who cares if what color your skin is?
it's the year 2025, and this is how majority of black people think.
Y'all sound like black supremacists.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with your skin color.
What if a white man's, you're talking to a white man and a white woman?
How dare you?
Yeah, this is disrespectful. You a traitor to your race. That is stupid. You talking to a black man and a black woman.
Yeah, you're
It's
talking.
not relevant.
Yeah, you're talking to Americans.
Yeah.
Just leave it at that.
having these. You talked about Charlie Kirk, and while the assassination of Charlie Kirk was a terrible thing, the Charlie Kirk that I heard was impugning black women.
Pretty disgraceful,
What?
disgusting things he said. over the
Right.
years. Yeah.
So that to me,
What did he say about black women?
And why don't y'all share that content during the podcast?
Yeah.
So you can point out how disgusting Charlie Kirk was.
Yeah, but he wasn't disgusting.
Yeah.
They take his words out of context. They use words that doesn't
Yeah.
describe him.
Yeah. One of
That's-
his best friends is a black woman. Idiots.
while we are
Yeah, they when he started Turning Point,
Yeah.
they was that was his right hand man. She was always up on stage with him.
Mm-hmm. And I still think they was pretty close after the fact, after
Yeah.
they had their little breakup.
Mm-hmm.
having conversation has to be challenged, and the entire world
I get it.
has to know that's a lie.
Yeah, I get it. Look, I mean, I gave you specific examples of me challenging,
Certainly.
including social studies books and these specific actions that others have taken, and the censoring of historical fact and the rewriting of history. And you can't go a day without seeing me attacking those goddamn things and standing up for the black and brown community in this state. You can't go a day. Take a look at my feed. Look at my social media.
He sounds just like Joe Biden, don't he?
You see, you took the Lord's name in vain and you trying to become president?
Look at
That's
me on
not
these
gonna
press
happen.
Yeah.
conferences and what I'm doing and saying. Look at the bills I'm signing in this respect. Again, with respect, my podcast is a place where I'm just trying to mine the other side and understand what's going on. For one reason, I want to understand those I disagree with, because I want to get better and I want to be smarter.
Well, you're not getting better. You're not getting smarter. You're not understanding half the country.
Yeah.
You don't even debate half the country.
Yeah. Very easy issue that's going on in California is men and women sports. That's low hanging fruit. You can't solve that problem.
I want to win. These guys won. They kicked our ass. And we're dealing with the tyranny of this administration every goddamn day. And so for
Hey,
me,
man,
it's
you need to
about
stop
power,
using Lord's name in vain.
taking back our power. It's not about punditry and it's not about having a goddamn candlelight visual.
3 times.
Still want to be president?
You potty mouth governor.
I mean, Trump is
You're
saying
not gonna get elected
Trump
using
is
the Lord's name in vain over
yeah,
and over like
yeah.
that.
Trump has never done that.
Yeah, he
He'll
calls
call-
some people SOBs.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but he won't use the Lord's name in vain.
yeah, and this is a conversation to have. There's no reason to use that language at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not interested in a white paper on this shit. I'm a practitioner. We got to get out there. We got to fucking win. I care about winning. That's what Prop 50 is about. It's about power. This son of a bitch is going to not only rewrite history, it's over the history of this country. We won't have a country in a year if this guy's successful. We're at the 250th anniversary of the Founding Fathers. That's next year. There might not be another free and fair election unless we.
Look, the fearmongering we heard during this last election cycle. What did Oprah say?
Yeah.
If Trump becomes president, black women ain't going to
They ain't gonna be able to vote again. And you know what? That would be a good thing.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes, it would. They're horrible voters.
I would say majority of just overall women. You know, majority of women vote for Democrats.
Yeah, but black women are far worse.
Well, yeah, they voted at 95% clear. That is just that's what you call just complete idiocy. That's a monolith. But
Yeah.
like 60% of white women vote for Democrats.
Yeah, but it's not 95%. I'll pick a white woman over a black one.
When it comes to vote, huh?
Yeah. Over anything.
win back this House of Representatives. It's that serious. And so I want to understand their game. I want to understand how they're operating.
It's common
because we
sense.
got our ass kicked. We got our ass kicked in the last election.
Why did we lose?
For all these reasons. That we're too timid, that we don't have a message, that we're not on the offense, that we're not.
Man, it's not that you don't have a message. It is your message.
Yeah.
Your message sucks.
Yeah.
And you still have not learned that, but you claim you're trying to learn from the right? No, you're not.
Y'all are so far gone. How did y'all? It's next to impossible to incentivize the American people to overwhelmingly vote for a Republican that y'all lost the popular vote. That's how bad y'all are. That hadn't happened in 20 years.
We won Nevada. Republicans took Nevada for the first
You
time.
lost major ground in New Mexico.
Yeah,
California,
and
New
you
York.
lost a lot of ground in blue states.
Yeah.
And y'all still doubling down and not changing your tune on anything.
Yeah. Florida is blood red. It's dark red.
It used to be purple.
Yeah. But y'all's policies, y'all's message suck. You need to change your message.
Yeah.
You need to be more liberal. You need to be more moderate.
You need
more
to be in the
common
middle.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, more traditional.
This progressive message that y'all have.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying y'all shouldn't stick with it.
Yeah.
Keep on doing it.
Yeah. Let me calm down.
Yeah.
That progressive message is the same message that destroyed Rome.
Yeah. Now Florida is more red than California is blue.
Yeah. Y'all can't see the warning signs?
Nope, they can't.
Good.
This dude on here, I know he's running for president. He in there dropping GDs every.
Yeah, you think it's cool in front of black folks.
Yeah.
But majority of America don't like that language.
Yeah.
They're like a SOB here now and then. Maybe an F word. But
Yeah.
it's got to make sense. You in there just cussing for no reason. You used the Lord's name in vain 3 times. That's nuts if you're running for president
Yeah.
in the United States of America.
Yeah.